Hello, greetings to you wherever you are watching me from. And I welcome you back to the final part of this my journey of the creation of my 40th Quinceañera Cake. You will be pleased that this is the final part. In any event, this part consists of the delivery and the setup process at the venue, and that's my husband, our driver for the day. So he wanted to be viewed, and that's me putting the cakes in different parts in the different tiers into the boot. And never mind my facial expression, I was so anxious. So that's how I was so anxious about how the day was going to turn out, hoping and praying that it's going to be successful. In an event, here we are at the venue at the I think it's a Regency Centre somewhere in London, or is it East London? I can't remember now. Anyway, it's at the Regency Centre. Here we're at the venue, about to begin to set up. That's the 12th tier. The 12 inches tier at the base there. I've already placed that. And I'm now trying to place the next tier, which is the 10 inches tier, on the 12th tier. That's me using royal icing on top of my 8 inches round acrylic cake separator. And that's my beautiful daughter. So they were my assistants for the day or for the morning. Yes, that's the stacking process. Stacking, placing my 10 inches tier on top of my 12 inches tier with the 8 inches acrylic cake separator in between. So I had to make sure that this cake was sturdy, was stable. It is important because I don't want to come and be called. I don't want to be called and be told a story that touches. I'll be told stories that touch. So my mind, my entire being, we're all working towards ensuring that this cake setup was perfect. At least, if not perfect, almost perfect. That it's not going to topple over down a few hours down the line, and I'm glad it didn't because I was so concerned throughout the day. So here it is, setting up. Now I've now applied my royal icing again on the acrylic separator, the 6 inches acrylic separator on the 10 inches, and I'm about to now I am placing now at this point my 7 inches round tier on top of my 6 inches acrylic cake topper, which is also on top of my 10 inches cake tier. As you can see, I'm using my spirit leveler. This too goes with me. At least I try to make sure that it goes with me whenever I'm setting up a cake that is more than 2 inches in height, tier. So there it is. I'm just ensuring that that cake is as straight as it can be. Well, unfortunately, or I won't say unfortunately, the cake stand that where they wanted the cake to stand, they wanted it to be on the platform where the birthday celebrant is a 16th birthday Quinceañera themed, where the birthday celebrant is going to stay, and that platform was not stable at all because anytime someone was walking on it, you could see the cake shaking. And many times, I remember I tried a number of times to try to renegotiate the position of the cake so that they can place that cake stand on the floor for stability, but they said that's where they wanted the cake to be. Okay, so I had to work with what was presented to me. And this, I'm now applying my royal icing again on the last acrylic cake separator, which is the 4 inches, in order for me to place my final cake tier on top of it. My final cake tier is 5 inches in diameter. So as you saw there, I've applied my royal icing on top of the smallest acrylic cake separator. Now I am lifting up my 5 inches cake tier, and see now I have placed it on my acrylic cake separator. So with all the cakes now on top of each other, ensuring that everything is centered, well centered, stable and sturdy, utilizing every tool I have available to me to ensure that stability. And of course, every eye is around, getting everyone to check, is it straight, is it bendy? That was what I was doing. My husband was behind the camera viewing and recording and telling me, oh no, it is here, which video is, all that directive instructions. So that's exactly what was happening here, and that's the entire cake, the 4 tiers and the acrylic separators all set up. Satisfied? Not yet. So I had to get a ladder to place my cake's spirit level on top to make sure again that is this right or not. So I stood up for again to assess the cake. I wasn't still happy, so I had to, the royal icing gratefully was still a bit wet, so I set it up again to make sure it is centered. Now I'm satisfied. I'm now applying a silver diamond, is it called diamante, or some silver strips around the edges to beautify the edges. Of the 4 individual cakes. I'm using edible glue. You can see my daughter, she's excited that she's assisting me. I'm using edible glue to apply these strips at the edges or the base of my cakes. Those cakes, they are sitting on their own individual cake boards, not cake cards, cake boards. The 5 inches is sitting on a 5 inches cake, round cake board. Yeah, that's the design I'm trying to recreate, but in a different color scheme. I am using peach and white, roses and peony, and also gold leaves, which I had already put together in my, and I mentioned it in my previous episode or previous part to this part, the video part. So what I'm doing now, I'm adorning the fully stacked cake with the flowers to complete the setup and the cake decoration. Just to remind you, we washed our hands before we commenced this whole process. And you can see the whole is still being set up, so we were early. I didn't think the event started until about late in the afternoon. We were here at around 11 o'clock to set up the cake. So the cake was there all through the morning, afternoon, until whenever they cut it towards the evening. And it was stable. I'm so glad to hear about that. The feedback on this was great as well. So we're just applying the finishing touches of the flowers, the leaves, the gold leaves, which I had already put together. So I'm just placing them on the strategic positions of the individual cake tiers. And that's the finished cake, all set up and beautifully standing tall. I'm just using my brush. I'm happy at this stage. I'm using my brush now to brush off any dust or icing sugar that may be lurking around. I had my cake steamer, but I didn't bother plugging it, and there was no extension in any event. But I already steamed all the cakes before I set them out for delivery. That's the finished product. Do you love the video? Do you love the creation, the cake? I'd love to hear from you. Did you enjoy? Don't forget to leave me a comment, like, share. I'd appreciate it. Share. I appreciate the love. And give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you haven't subscribed already, do not forget to subscribe. If you love what I do on this channel, support, and watch my video. Share. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care for now. Bye.